Roll call, please.
Because I didn't even hurry to make it to fill up. They're 25, that's my tip. Can you make an announcement for me?
Yeah, well, you're messing me up. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Here, I'll make it on here.
This time we'll open the meeting up to citizens' comments. Any citizens wishing to speak? Any citizens wishing to speak? Any citizens wishing to speak? Seeing none, citizens' comments are closed. Announcements of the chair. I do have a few.
I erred.
The pictures will be $25 that you saw up here. If you want a county board picture, see Mary about that.
I know, it was my error. I just realized they were 20 before, and they wanted 45, and I got them down to 25. So I did that really quick at 5 o'clock tonight. It's actually, it's my tip.
I didn't raise it $5 to get a cut, honestly. This is, I don't.
It's $30. It's really $45.
Yeah.
Executive Cruiser is going to be sworn in on April 15th at 4 o'clock at the courthouse. And there's a reception at the boathouse after that on 7th Avenue, if anybody wants to go. Also, I'd like to make a quick, 4 o'clock, it's going to be at the courthouse at 4, and then followed with a reception at the boathouse for his swearing in. A quick update on joint services. The evaluation committee has reviewed the apps and cut it down to two main full-service ones and 2 fire. They're in the process of the evaluation committee doing site visits. They've got 4 scheduled. They've completed 1, so we are moving along with that. I will keep you posted on where we are with that. This time, those are the comments of the chair. Move on to supervisor reports. Supervisor Hallman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Other than the 4 agenda items that we have tonight, we received an update from Ms. Adeline Green, our head of workforce development for the Human Services Committee, and she basically updated us on the progress of our income maintenance division. If you will recall, because the Affordable Care Act made some changes to Badger Care, the state of Wisconsin allocated funds to all counties across the state to add staff to their income maintenance division to deal with people transitioning in and out of Badger Care. The program before was not open to childless adults, or at least not open to as many, and now with the Affordable Care Act's existence, that has changed. So one of the things that's happened is that effective April 1st, 2014, May 1st, 2014, sorry, there are 4,558 persons that have received a notice that have basically said that they will be losing their Badger Care Plus eligibility. And it has been the staff of the WKRP Wisconsin Racine Kenosha Partnership, the consortium, to call them and let them know that they are eligible to get health care coverage through the marketplace. There have been 288 persons in the consortium, particularly for Kenosha, that have been bounced back and forth. They
Hold on. Okay, continue.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. They received notices through the marketplace that they were eligible for Badger Care, and Badger Care reviewed their application and said, no, you're eligible for the marketplace. And so our staff will be working to contact those folks by phone to make sure they're aware of that and how they can enroll essentially past what's been the open enrollment date. As you will recall, we were in last place, our income maintenance consortia, for dealing with these matters. With the addition of the staff that we have put in place with some of the money that we saved from a previous budget as well as money that we received from the state, we are now #1 in all categories except for one, and that's a category that no one across the state has done very well in. So congratulations to us.
Thank you, Supervisor Hallman. Supervisor Rose.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The county executive asked me to let you know that in tomorrow's paper, there will be an important announcement that another company is relocating in Kenosha. A Niagara Bottling Company of California will build in Kenosha County a very large 377,000 square foot facility. This is a company which is the largest private bottled water supplier in the United States. They intend to commence work this summer on a $56 million project and initially add some 40 jobs. And for your additional information, the high impact fund that we have was part of the enticement to come to Kenosha with the investment of over $200,000 from that fund to that project. And that should be in the Kenosha News tomorrow.
Thank you, Supervisor Rose. Supervisor Brunig.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a quick update from PDEC. Last Tuesday and Wednesday, we did interview 22 youth for our next round of Youth in Governance. We had one that was out of the country that we were not able to get a hold of, so she wasn't able to interview. But we did interview 22. We will be reviewing those at our next week's meeting, and we'll pass those names on to the new county board chairman as soon as we're done. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Brunig. Supervisor Molinaro.
Just to piggyback on what Supervisor Rose said in reviewing the announcement that I also have on my desk, I have had some limited conversations with the county executive in Cabo over Niagara Bottling locating in Kenosha County. You know, we've heard the reports, we've seen the statistics. This is exactly what that high impact fund was engineered to do. I continually tout, as we all should, the efforts of CABA, the county executive, certainly this county board, for the vision that was put forth with regard to our ability to attract business to Kenosha County. If you haven't seen some of the headlines, listened to some of the commentary, the last I heard it said Kenosha County, or when you're talking about economic development, you need to take Kenosha County out of the equation because we are an entity unto itself. What we have generated here recently has been incredible. We certainly should all take an opportunity when we have a chance to welcome Niagara Bottling to Kenosha County. I look forward to hopefully this county board, as you go forward, supporting this high impact fund and recognizing what it's doing for Kenosha County as a whole and the families that not only are here now, but those who will come as these companies continue to move forward. So congratulations to CABA, County Executive, the administration, and certainly the county board. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Molinaro. Seeing no more lights, we'll move on to the business at hand.
Policy resolution, second reading to required. 3, from Finance Administration Committee, establishment of a donations policy. Rose, yes. Ron Frederick, yes. O'Day, yes. Grady, excused. Kohlmeyer, yes. Kubicki, yes. Molinaro, yes.
Supervisor Rose.
On behalf of the Finance Committee, I would move policy number 3.
Policy number 3 has been moved by Supervisor Rose, seconded by Supervisor Molinaro. Supervisor Rose.
All right, thank you. On your desk is a new policy proposal that the Finance Committee makes to you. In the event that someone decides to gift or donate personal property to the county, the board must receive that property. This happens from time to time, and I've left on your desk a list of items that have been donated to Kenosha County since 2005. One very significant example of a number of years ago was the donation of Kemper Center. This was rejected, as you recall, by the city, and members of the county board recommended that it become a county park. The reason we would accept or reject a donation is because of future costs. This board or some other future board may decide that they don't want to accept the donation because the upkeep of the property or the operating costs of it would be more than we would want to take. So this is an attempt to bring to you a policy which is not currently public policy, and we've set this at one where the cost exceeds $50,000, as we've felt that that was significant enough for the board's consideration, and we urge your support this evening.
Thank you, Supervisor Rose. Supervisor Molinaro?
Just to add to Supervisor Rose's comments, I want to make it the point and certainly thank the administration. This is a policy resolution that comes forward with the strong support of Mr. Gertzen and his office, county executive, they had, and certainly Corporation Counsel, Counsel Cardamone, who isn't here this evening, drafted the resolution with the input from the executive's office and certainly our finance director. I've said it before, I'll say it again, anytime an issue comes forward that Dave Gertzen supports in terms of being the right thing for accounting practices for Kenosha County, I'll support it all day long. This was supported unanimously by the members present of the Finance Committee at the meeting, and I urge you to support it this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Molinaro. Supervisor Decker?
Just a question. The resolution states that it's the asset whose value and any associated and non-budgeted cost exceeds $50,000. What are we talking about? The historical value, the value it was when it was new, the value when we get it? Where are we basing that value on?
Supervisor Rose?
All right, I think it's a good question. It would be fair market value at the time of the donation.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I have two questions for you, Supervisor Rose. The first would be, you mentioned an analogy using real estate that, you know, we might not want to keep the upkeep on, and in here it says, shall not apply to real estate. Is that, can you explain that to me?
Yes. We've asked the Corporation Council to look at that. We felt that that had separate considerations that we did not want to include. And I believe that state law also requires us to either to accept real estate, and perhaps the Corporation Council would like to clarify that or expand upon it.
The reason real estate was not included is that all real estate, whether it's coming to the county or going away, whether we're buying, selling, accepting a donation, or leasing, or whatever, has to go through the county board.
That was going to be my point. We have to vote on that anyway. Okay, thank you. The second thing I would like to know is, it also says that it's not going to supersede any donation policy previously adopted. What are the ones that are out there? I mean, as a committee, did you look at what we already do? And I mean, what's going to stay in place that we can't eliminate with this?
Okay. I think what we had in mind was Brookside does have a policy of acceptance of donations.
Okay.
And they don't have a $50,000 limit.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Supervisor Skalitsky.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To the chairman, your comment regarding fair market value, does that need to be added to this policy? Not for us to understand, but perhaps future boards?
I think that's a good suggestion, but where I interpreted that is if somebody were going to make a donation to the county, their tax deduction would be fair market value.
Okay, so
But if you want to add that to it, I think that would be a good point of clarification for future.
yeah, I mean, I don't mean to split hairs, but it came up as a question, and it just clarifies what we're talking about with regards to 50,000. So I'd like to just make a friendly motion to add costs exceeds a fair market value of $50,000 must be, et cetera.
Does the maker of the motion and the second have an issue with that?
No, I don't.
Yeah,
Nope.
there you go.
If I could just clarify, what I would suggest we do is the first, therefore be it resolved, where it states supervisors approves a policy that any donation of a non-monetary asset with a whose fair market value, is that where you want to insert that? Whose fair market value and any associated non-budgeted costs? Is that where the suggestion was?
Sounds good, because
Yeah.
that's a logical place to
Yeah,
put it.
that's where,
Yeah.
in my opinion, it would need to be.
That's fine.
And then I'm fine with that, thank you.
Okay.
So let me just change my motion here to whose fair market value,
And then continue
And-
on with it.
et cetera.
Second.
Okay. I don't think we need a second because it's been adopted into their motion. So seeing no more lights, all those in
Roll
favor?
call.
Roll call requested?
Well, point of order? Sure. This is on the amendment, correct? So then you do need a second, because I don't believe we can modify this without a formal amendment. So again, I
Okay.
second that motion.
Who seconded it? Raise your,
I did.
you did? Okay. Seconded by Supervisor Molinaro. On the amendment, do you want a roll call on the amendment?
Yes.
Okay. Roll call on the amendment? The amendment passes unanimously, 23-0. On the actual motion as amended, roll call as well. Supervisor Rose? Do you want a roll call on that too?
Yes.
Okay. Roll call. Yeah, no problem. Okay?
Good system.
Nope, not yet. Good? Okay, we're ready. It's not. Resolution 3 passes unanimously, 23-0.
New business resolutions, 111, from Human Services Committee, a resolution to approve the appointment of Jolie McKenna to the Kenosha County Aging and Disability Resource Center Board. It was unanimous.
Supervisor Hallman?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If there's no objection, I'd like to move resolutions 111, 112, 113, and 114 upon being read.
Any objections to that? Seeing none, please continue.
112, from Human Service Committee, a resolution to approve the appointment of Pamela Device to the Kenosha County Aging and Disability Resource Center Board. Hallman, yes. Boyd Frederick, yes. Anita Johnson, excused. Decker, yes. Arrington, excused. Nudo, yes. Montemero, yes. 113, from Human Service Committee, a resolution to approve the appointment of Christine Weicker to the Kenosha County Aging and Disability Resource Center Board. Hallman, yes. Boyd Frederick, yes. Johnson, excused. Decker, yes. Arrington, excused. Nudo, yes. Montemero, yes. 114, from Human Service Committee, a resolution to approve the reappointment of Dr. James Foster to the Kenosha County Board of Health. David Hallman, yes. Boyd Frederick, yes. Johnson, excused. Decker, yes. Arrington, excused. Nudo, yes. Montemero, yes.
Resolutions 111 through 114 have been moved by Supervisor Hallman, seconded by Supervisor Boyd Frederick. Supervisor Hallman?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is fairly routine. We all have their resumes included in our packets. They were all approved without objection by the committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Hallman. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Those resolutions pass.
Claims, Christopher S. Albee, mailbox damage.
Refer to Corporation Council.
Michael Gwaltney, mailbox damage.
Refer to Corporation Council.
Approval of the minutes from the March 18, 2014 meeting by Supervisor Grady.
Make a
Supervisor
motion to-
Grady?
Make a motion to adopt the minutes of March 18th as presented.
The minutes, motion to approve the minutes of March 18th have been moved by Supervisor Grady, seconded by Supervisor Ron Johnson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It's been moved by Supervisor Arrington to adjourn, seconded by Supervisor Brunig. All those in favor? Any opposed?